Hey guys, welcome back to the Jumper Guide for 2021 episode 2. And in this guide today, we're going to talk a lot about the jumper and really what it takes to create a jumper account, where you should create that jumper. Like if you want to do solo or groups, we're going to talk about the differences in that. All of this stuff is going to be timestamped in the description. And of course, the creation of your jumper and the few things you should do after you create your jumper account. Other than that, that's going to cover everything in this video, and you're gonna have to stay tuned because there'll be a third episode after this one within a few days. So don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to see the content as it drops. So for now, sit back and enjoy the ride. Now we're ready to create the jumper account. Let's go ahead and determine how we're going to do it. There's two options. You can create it on your main account using the standard email that you always use for all of your accounts, like I have here. All you need to do is click on the settings tab, click on character management, and create an account right there. Okay, create the account, and now you have the opportunity to create the account on the current email that you're using for your main account, like I have here. But there's a catch. If you do this, you won't be able to use an emulator and have multiple accounts running at the same time. Kind of like I do with my accounts. I have multiple accounts running at the same time. I have this one, and of course I have this other baby account that I use as well. And of course, these are always just options that you can use, and it's up to you. But if you want to do this method where you're on a brand new email, you're going to need to use an emulator. Or you're gonna have to completely clear out your cache on your phone so that it like resets the account on your device, and it can cause more hassle if you didn't link it. So you have to link the account in the settings tab. But there's a lot of more issues. So if you can, just use an emulator like this one here. I'm using LDPlayer. Go ahead and take a look in the description to see my affiliate link, and you can click that and download LDPlayer. I run multiple instances. It's fantastic. But either way, using a new email is probably the way to go. Of course, when you create the account on a new email, it's going to create it in like a new server. So on this account specifically, you look in the settings tab on my character management, I have multiple accounts here, and this is just one I created. Well, when I first opened this account, it created it in this kingdom here in 2212. Well, I didn't use that account because I was just using it as a middleman until I created my account right here in 2109. That was my original jumper I did 2.5 months ago, starting this series. Made some modifications, of course, and we're here today. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to create that one, and created it. I started doing the villages and started doing the scouting and stuff, and got sidetracked with KVK and forgot everything. And now we're on this one. Essentially did the same thing. Just created a new account on a brand new kingdom to kind of see what it was like in the new kingdom, and anything changes, just so I can update this video and make sure you're getting the current information. Either way, you have to go through the setup. You have to go through the tutorial every single time you create a new account. I know it sucks and it's lame, it's redundant, but you got to do it every time you create a new account. But this way, now I can run my little mini account and I can run my main account at the same time. So it's kind of cool to have both and the ability to play both. You can also link this account to an email or Facebook and hand it over to somebody else if you want to get rid of it, or if you're just using it as like a bank or something for the kingdom, you can just give it to somebody else and they'll have access to your account. But don't do that unless you fully trust that person. So don't just give it out to whoever, only to those that you trust, because essentially they have access to your Facebook. But that's why you link it to like some Joe Schmo Facebook page or some Joe Schmo email account that you don't ever use. But those are just a few options that you have when you're creating an account. Now let's get into where you should create your account. Now let's determine where you're going to create your account. Now there's a bunch of different options. We'll start with the easiest one first. Create the account where your main account is. Why? Because now that you have it on a second email, if you took that route, you can also have your email open and your main account open, and you can run both accounts at the same time. You can run Lohar, you can run Forge, you can do all kind of cool stuff, and that way you are upgrading your account and helping it progress as a jumper. The only thing you're not going to get a chance to do is be in a kingdom getting the end of KVK rewards. Well, since they nerfed the jumper accounts, you can only really get the honor ones. So now you actually benefit more from creating your account in the kingdom that your main account is in. If you don't have a chance to do that, you can kind of look around on Facebook, or you can look around Discord or Reddit and find like a jumper group with a bunch of people doing this method, and they may have had people with main accounts in other kingdoms. If you don't have one, join them, and then you can kind of like feed off of their like rewards and stuff with getting the Lohar sculptures or getting forts done or etc. and things like that. And guardians too, because that's helpful to help upgrade your commanders using the XP. But those are just options. You could create it in a new kingdom, kind of like this one, but the downside is the map's still fogged. So you're going to have to wait till the map defogs to really get the benefit. Well, the only way to do that is to use the maps and scout everything, and that can be extra long and not really worth your time, especially jumpers are only 10 days long, a little bit shorter depending on when that final kingdom opens, because you run the risk of it getting too close and the kingdom map doesn't open. A lot of risks involved in jumper accounts nowadays, but you just got to stay on top of it, especially if you're focused on leaving whatever kingdom you're in or just creating a brand new account. If you decide to take the route of creating an account in a kingdom that's winning KVK, let's go ahead and take a look on how to figure that out. You go to the kingdom ranking, you click the globe at the bottom, which is like right here, I just clicked it. You're going to go into kingdom overview, you go to season 1, lost kingdom list, and now you have the list of maps. Okay, so you see here at the top in the different kingdoms, click on the last one, normally is the one that's going to be the oldest, and you check the date furthest over there, which is the 43-day marker. And you can click on the map, hit the little looking glass, go to the map, find the kingdom with the most territory, and in this case, it looks like it's whatever kingdom pink is. And you look at the map, who has the most territory, they look like they do, so high chances that they're winning in honor as well, but they may not be winning in honor. Just depends. Then you click on the ziggurat there, you click the little information tab that's at the top, and now you can see the kingdom number. And it looks like it's 2155. So if I wanted a chance to get some type of in-game KVK honor point for the kingdom reward, I'm going to go to 2155. More than likely they're winning in top honor. That way I've already done the legwork for this, and I can teleport there and grow my account. The map's defogged, I can click on the scouting camps, only the medium and high caves, and do all the villages. That way, I'm done most of the work, and now we're just going to hang out and wait until our final kingdom jumps opens. But these are just one way you could do it, okay? There's 3 different ways, or you could just create it in a brand new kingdom and just do it that way. But whatever you choose, make sure that you stay focused on what you choose. And, you can always create new accounts, move them around too. So don't worry about where you end up with your kingdoms.
Okay, so now that we're at the phase here where we can actually select a civilization. So it's really dope to be able to look at this here. You can see the different civilizations. We have Rome, Germany, Britain, France, Spain, China, Japan, Korea, Arabia, Ottoman Empire, and Brazilian Empire. You can choose each one, and every single civilization has its own perks. So there's a whole bunch to choose from when it comes to creating your jumper. When you do create a jumper, I actually recommend 2 or 3 specific civilizations. And the first one that I would recommend is China. Part of the reason why I like China is because you get Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu is a great commander to start out with because of his skills, and he's just a strong garrison commander for the early game. It might take some time to get him from either silver keys or gold keys. So, having him unlockable is important. Now, keep in mind, when you unlock a commander through creating your account here, you get the quests sculptures are the commander that you pick. So, for example, if I start with China, but midway through this I decide to go with Japan, then I don't get Kusunoki sculptures through the quests. I only get Sun Tzu. So please keep that in mind, even though you change civilizations, which you do get a civilization change at level 10 when you get to your final kingdom, you can change it. Now, Sun Tzu is great because he also has that 5% building speed and that action point recovery, which is good for killing barbs. And getting good action point recovery is always a really good thing for any type of event that we're going to do. The other option that you have is you can go Rome or Germany. And, they're great commanders. And you've got the troop training speed in Germany, which a lot of people do late game. That action point recovery is 10%, but some people who do have calves, this might be beneficial for them as well. Let's say you wanted to go calves, and if you wanted to go cavalry, you could definitely go with Spain. Spain is a great choice because you get Pelagius, and Pelagius is a really good cav commander early on. He's got the cav defense, but he's got the experience gain, which is good if you're trying to level up your commanders, and then that 20% resource production, another really good choice. But then again, it really comes down to what you're looking for. So that's why some people go to Japan, because you get that 30% march speed on scouts, because, well, scouts are very slow in the early game, and if you wanted to get done the caves a lot faster, that increased march speed is very good. So that's something to look into. And that increased troop attack is all 3% troop attack. But for this specific commander, we're actually going to do China. I really like the China civilization because I get Sun Tzu. And I also like the fact that the building speed is 5% reduction. Now, like I said, we just logged into this account for the first time, so it is going to take you through the setup process here. And I'm going to stop the video here and pick up when I'm done with the beginning process.
Now that you've created your account, let's go ahead and move on to the next couple of steps. Now it's just really day-to-day maintenance. So the things that you need to be thinking about is scouting your caves, only focusing on the medium and high, because when you get to the younger kingdoms, remember you're going to have the medium and high caves already done, so you get the better reward. The low caves give you really minimum reward, so that's why we tell you to focus on the medium and high. And of course, click all your villages. Whenever you reach the maximum amount of villages capable of collecting, you do still get some type of rewards from collecting from them. They're just not as great. But you can get a bunch of speed ups, healings and general speed ups, I think some training, troops, and tech upgrades as well. So scouting the map and getting all these green is beneficial to your account. But remember, there's 4 different map types. So whenever you're clicking through, make sure that you're not going to the same kingdom that you're not teleporting to the newest kingdom, a map that you've already been on, because there's 4 different types, so you can only intentionally go on the same map. You have 1 out of 4 chance. And to figure that out, you go to the continent map, and you'll go here to the off season. I guess they don't really have it anymore. There it is. You go to this map here, and it goes 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it rotates down. So make sure you're going to a different map type so you can get brand new caves and brand new villages. Some of them might already be pre-clicked, but that's normal. So you'll still have a good significant amount of caves already done. Okay, so now you want to take a break from clicking caves. I get that. Don't forget to constantly train your troops. Click on the training troops, keep them going and cooking. That way you have the most amount of troops possible going into your first kingdom. So just keep them training. You don't need anything. 40 minutes, you log in and you get new troops to train. I think the max you get like 1 hour and 30 minutes. But keep everything upgraded. Don't go above City Hall 7, because if you do, you lose your teleports, you lose your immigration ticket, and now you're stuck wherever you are. So stay below 7. It's best to keep as minimal amount of resources as possible to keep that green, up arrow away, so you're not like bothered by it. But that means that you can't be collecting these. Don't collect any of these because it has resources. Wait till like they have speed ups, and at the bottom right here, you can collect all of these. This is fine because it's not going to impact your resource count, which is above your head. So don't ever do that. Don't click on those. You'll be like an easy target because you're unshielded and people like, oh, look, resources, free troops, get some deaths. Pretty easy. So just be careful of that. Now go ahead and click on your campaign and start doing your expedition. The expedition is quite easy, and just go through and get as far as you can and get some of those coins, which is listed up there, because there's a chance that Epiphled sculptures aren't going to be available towards the end of this year. I'm not sure. I'm just taking a wild guess that they're going to replace Epiphled with another legendary commander. That's part of the reason why we have that legendary Epiphled event, which I've already claimed. You have a chance to get that Epiphled sculptures. It's pretty dope, and it'll help your account overall. So I guess you can hoard those coins. You get the unlock here. You could unlock her and get some more skills. I like her. She's not too bad in the open field. So she's pretty okay. Not too bad. You can also take this opportunity in upgrading your commanders. Remember, when you're working on your gathering commanders specifically, they're really good to have leveled up. So that way, when you're going out farming in your new kingdom, that you won't get like attacked that easily, I guess. But remember her talents overall. You can go all the way out here. If I'm not mistaken, it's 36 or 37 talent points to max this out. I highly recommend that you do. That way your commander is ready, set to go. I can get Markswoman. You can upgrade her to a 3-star commander, so you can give her a secondary commander because she gives that XP boosts. And also you can focus on getting through to the AP reduction, which is really dope to get. It's one of the best ones to have early games so that you're saving your AP. You're also killing more barbs that way, getting free speed ups that way. There's a couple of different benefits of having a reduced AP cost. And lastly, of course, you want to focus again on the AP bar, making sure that this stays as low as possible and you're not losing AP. Losing AP does, feels like, oh, well, I'm giving a chance to lose out on some speed ups and some resources, or even some chest drops from barbarians, which is accurate. And that way, it's best to just kind of keep that number down as low as possible. I'm not really paying too much attention to this account, so that's why I haven't really focused a whole lot on it. But that's pretty much it. That's going to wrap it up for this episode, as we talked about the beginning stages in your jumper account. Now you can spend as much time as possible on this jumper account in your first kingdom. Remember, there is no more middle jumps, so you're just jumping from your first kingdom to your final kingdom. Kind of bummed, but it is what it is. We have to make adjustments to the way that they want to change the game and the play style. It's okay, happens. It's the part of the dynamic of playing a live action game. Now, with this and this series and this account, you can kind of take it with however direction you want to take it, either archers, cavs, or specialty in infantry. Try to focus your commanders around that and really focus on what you want to do with your account. Is it a support? Are you heavy spender? Are you going to just be a killing machine? Or are you just be a farmer and, proc late game and get your T5 like 6 or 7 months after your account? Everyone's going to play their account differently. Just remember to be smart. Keep your city bubbled if you're in a kingdom with an active war. If you're in a jumper group, keep in mind that you need to follow the rules of the jumper group and find one that fits and works for your playstyle. Don't be worried to find a jumper group that may not work for you, but may work for others. Everyone's dynamic is different, so just keep that in mind as you're creating your account. There's a lot that goes into it, and there's more videos to come, especially in this jumper series. You should have at least 1 to 2 more in this series of episodes. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, drop a like on this video, subscribe to the content because you're going to see more of this, and drop a comment below if you've created a jumper before and if you liked this new jumper process. But that's it for me, guys. So for now, just keep it real.